I bet yours is spicy, man. For those that don't know, Adam does a lot of apologetics on YouTube.
More like anti-cult apologetics.
Still apologetics, isn't it?
Yeah.
And he attracts interesting people. All right. I don't know where my beautiful wife went. She disappeared.
Celebrating your victory.
The post quiz bathroom break, I guess.
Victory lap.
Yep. She's like, I got 100%. But she just asked Ashley to come up here and present. All right. Something happened. You rapscallion.
It's coming back.
There it is.
Why are all sorts of things opening on my screen even though I haven't touched them? Thank you, computer. Windows, man. I rail about Apple, but Windows gives it a good run for its money in terms of vexation. They'll use no other operating system except Linux, and Linux is for people who have more time than I do. Okay. We're just going to do more of what we did in homework. Come on, you can scroll, I believe in you. There we go. Yeah, parse and translate the following nouns. So nothing, no rocket science here. So I tried to thin out the number of examples this time so you get through a little quicker. So who wants to take A? Hoi adelphoi. All right, I saw Adam's hand go first.
So it'd be masculine, plural, nominative. It'd be hoi adelphoi, which is brother. Brothers. Plural. Brothers. Hoi?
What's that?
That's nominative plural for masculine, isn't it?
But what's that thing right before adelphoi? Translate the whole thing.
Oh, the brothers.
There we go. There we go.
You had it right.
What do I do? It's like, I see that monster. I know you've had caffeine. It's been a while. Don't break the kids. All right. Who wants to take example B?
Where are we doing?
Dennis, I saw that hand go up. We are parsing and translating.
Two, cosmu.
Yep.
All right, so that would be, singular, is it masculine? Cosmu.
Do you remember what the lexical form is?
Cosmos.
Okay. What's that ending tell you about its gender? What would a masculine end with, and what would a neuter end with?
I don't know.
Well, I guess we'll find out. Give me your best shot.
I'm gonna find out.
Give me your best shot.
All right, so that would be what, genitive, singular, and again, I don't know.
Masculine.
And of the world.
Of the world. Is that your final answer?
Well, obviously I can change it.
You're right, Dennis, you're completely right. It is a masculine, and it is a genitive singular, and it's definite of the world, correct?
Oh, you little stinky.
So that was
You
my
were
question
trying to
before the
change.
quiz was, do masculines generally end in what we saw, S? Logos.
Masculines generally end in S?
Generally,
Why
yes.
did I not hear that?
Yep.
I didn't want to confuse everybody before quiz, that's why I didn't.
So-
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Cosmos is our lexical form, right? An example of a neuter would be technon,
Ends in a,
right?
So neuters technically, or usually end in, with an N?
Typically in the singular nominative, yeah, you'll have a new ending most of the time.
Oh.
And then I won't tell you what the plural is, but I imagine the discerning student probably could figure it out based on what's on the screen. All right, who wants example C?
Okay.
Sure.
There, take it away.
Word, logo, it's dative, singular. Since it doesn't have anything before it, is it just word?
It's a dative.
So like of the word,
That would be a genitive.
oh sorry, for the word, not for the word or to the word.
You made it definite. You said for the word, but there's no article, so it should be indefinite.
Yeah, I don't know.
It should be for a word.
For a word.
For a word, yep. But generally pretty close. All right. Yep. Because if it was to the word, it would be. That would be it. Right there. In this case, we got no article. Yeah, picking out the indefinite part, because in English, right, we have, of course, an, right? But Greek does not have any equivalent. Sometimes Greek and Hebrew, which both lack an indefinite article, right? Like we have in Greek, in English, you know, a or an, right? Sometimes they kind of feel the pressure from that, and the number one will get pressed into service, or like a relative pronoun, like a certain person or one person, right? Because they kind of feel that ambiguity at times. So it's kind of an awkward thing for us to learn. So don't beat yourself up on that one. So English makes it nice and clear, but Greek does not. All right, D. Who wants to take example D?
I will.
Okay.
It's Heron.
Hieron. It's an awkward one. We don't have words like that.
And it would be neuter, singular, either nominative or accusative, and it would be the temple.
Correct. Yep. Correct. All right. Who wants example E?
I'll take it. Now is neuter, plural, and it's either nominative or accusative. And it means the child or children, the children.
The children. You're right. Good job, Dan.
Well, I had 4 other examples to follow.
Alrighty. Okay. Now, let's talk about which Greek phrase best translates the English phrase. So, made some more examples from additional vocabulary that you guys have gotten here. Who wants to take the top one? Nola, take it away.
So of the man, it's not the first one because that's plural. There's no article on the second guy, so it's the third guy.
Okay. To anthropo, that's right. Of the man. And why is that the correct translation, Nola?
Because it's singular, and it's the second, the genitive, and that's why.
Yep. That's all there is to it. There is no deeper meaning. All right. Who wants to take our next one?
I'll do it.
Okay.
I would guess it's the middle one.
Yes. Are you sure?
Oh, geez, you're gonna do this every
Somebody.
time.
When you make uncertain statements like, I
All right,
guess,
it's
or
not, well, it's not the
maybe.
first one, it's got an article. And it's nominative, and it's not nominative.
Okay.
And it's not the last one, because that's accusative. So, yeah,
It has to be the middle.
I want the middle one.
Yeah. You just shouldn't have said, I guess. You absolutely knew it, Dennis, but
You keep questioning me. It's like-
you keep making me doubt. You're like, oh, I guess it's this one. Well, we don't guess it's this one. People who get up at 8 a.m. for Greek are stone cold killers. That's why we know this stuff. All right, who wants the next one?
I'll take it.
Ashley, okay.
So it would be the middle one.
Okay.
Because it doesn't have an article, but the first one is singular,
Correct.
so it would be the middle one.
What's the case in the middle one?
Accusative.
Are you sure?
She had the fear in her eyes. I saw it. What's he gonna ask me next? I have to be nice to her though, because she knows where I live. So
I also make you dinner, so.
that's true. And cookies. And cookies. If you're wondering how to bribe the teacher, cookies will work. I'm
Well,
vulnerable.
Dan's gonna bring
Yeah.
fancy cookies.
Box.
No, my wife's doing that. I'm just a.
It doesn't
mule.
count. It doesn't count if it's
No,
my
it doesn't
birthday.
count.
She gets a gold star. All right. Who wants to take of works the next one? Adam. Oh, he's eager. He's like, I know this. I got this.
Yeah, maybe we'll see.
We don't have 17 hours of study energy in class today. John, if you watch this video, you can't bail anymore.
Yeah. So it'd be, toys, herois, wait, no, hegois, wait, what?
Here.
Do I need to?
Ergois, sorry,
Ergois.
ergois.
It's like
My
hair
my naked glass. Toys, ergois.
If you need me to make anything bigger, just please call it out.
No, I think just the fuzzy, but, so it is, so it's dative, plural, masculine, and it's, well, obviously it's upwards.
Are you sure about the case?
Well, now they say
Upward.
that,
He could be tricking you though.
dative. Yes.
You're sure that it's a dative?
I'm sure it's a dative.
What do you think it could, actually, hold on, just give me your rest of your answer, we'll talk in a second.
Well, so, fully on ois says dative. Right?
So there's only one dative in that column, but notice of works, what's not there in the English?
Oh, wait, yeah, that wouldn't be, so it'd be, oh, I guess that'd be genitive, huh?
There we go,
There we go.
there we go. I knew it was in there, I'm like, we just gotta draw it out. It's like a deep well, a man's mind.
Wait, so it's masculine, but
Is it masculine? Luckily, you don't have to know the gender for this exercise.
why did I pick the hard one?
I
always do that.
Is it singular or plural? That
Don't, Adam,
give you a
if
hint.
it's any consolation, if you picked an easy one, I would make it hard by asking you additional questions, as Dennis discovered.
Yes.
So, okay, so it's not plural. Just when I start thinking I know the rules,
Is it breaking the rules, or is it just 8:45 in the morning?
it could be user for sure.
I was just gonna say it's early, that was.
Is he on
close.
Works?
Yeah, he's on Upworks.
Okay, so it'd be genitive.
So we know it's not definite, you know it's genitive, and we know that
Oh.
in English it's plural.
In neuter?
It's a neuter, that's correct.
Oh, okay.
In fact, a neon sign that it's neuter has been hung over this one the whole time. This right here is a neuter nominative, plural,
Huh, that's a tricky one.
but that's not the correct answer. All right, who knows? Adam, do you wanna take one more shot at it?
No.
Open it up, okay. Who wants to take this one?
Middle one.
The world.
It's Eric? Of works, right? Of works, which is the correct answer here.
Oh, I'm doing Works?
Yeah, you're picking up which Adam left off on.
Oh.
He threw up the white flag, so, of works, which one's correct?
I give him.
Oh, I thought we were doing the world, my bad. I'll play some, yeah.
You've already volunteered.
Raise his hand.
Too bad, Eric.
Okay.
There's the quick and the dead in this class.
Is it the very, like the last one?
No.
Okay.
I don't think it's the first one either.
Is it feminist?
If it were
So-
of the works, it would be
Not
the,
That's O-N.
the ton, right?
If it was of the works, it would be tone,
Ergon.
ergon.
BC, so it's the middle guy.
It's the middle one, NOLA, with the
Because
save.
there's no, but I think the article is throwing us off.
This version hasn't been.
But yes, it's that middle guy.
Yeah, the lack of an article here, because this is indefinite, right? Just of works generally. You have a neuter, genitive, plural, and it's a narthrus. It lacks the article. So ergon is correct, of works.
Because if it were dative, it would be to, for, by
Oh.
works.
Yep. So this is a dative plural right here, tois ergois, to or for the works, or by the works.
Yeah.
And then erga would just be works. It would just be works.
I was trying to figure out the wrong one.
All right. Since Eric, you wanted the world, that was what your mind was set on. For the redemption, what do you got?
Okay, is it the first one?
Is it the first one? I don't know, is it?
Yes.
Tell me.
The
The point is that you tell me the answer.
So the first one, it's masculine and nominative.
Nominative, and what's the number? Is it singular or plural?
Singular.
Singular, good man. Dennis tried to trick me. He's like, I think it's this. He's hoping I'd tell him the answer, but I saw through his ruse. All right. The children.
Wait. Why isn't tone kosmon
Ooh,
also correct?
you noticed. Because I forgot that I put that trick question in there. Thank you, Dan. You get a gold star.
No.
The problem is I prepare these on Saturday and a week goes by and I forget what I put in. All right, the children. Who wants to take the last one? Oh, Ashley's hand is going up. She's ready.
Okay,
Just kidding.
it's
The
the
children.
middle one, ta techna,
Why?
because it's plural, it's neuter, it has the article, and it could be either nominative or accusative.
Fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. Right. Okay. And then let's do a couple of these bad boys. We've still got some time. Let's see. Identify second declension nouns you've learned, then parse and translate each one. You will recognize this particular kind of assignment from the homework. So, and remember, don't worry about anything that's not a second declension noun in these sentences.
It's the ta techna,
That's right.
and Ashley just said all of the things.
What things are those, Noah?
What things did she say?
Accusative or no.
Yes.
Sorry, I have to go through where it's at.
That's
So
fine.
it's either nominative or accusative, it's plural, and it's neuter.
Neuter. Great. Good job.
Alright, I'll do the next one. I need to redeem myself.
Let's go, Adam.
John 3:16.
It'd be, ton, cosmon.
Yep.
Right?
That's one of them.
Oh, there's two?
There's two. You're very.
Oh, there it is. Ha, theos.
Theos or theos?
Theos.
There we go.
Yeah.
Somewhere out there's a reconstructed coin I have in them. It's Theos! It's Theos!
Okay, so that would be, so let me do the first one, then that'd be, ha, theos, which would be, nominative masculine, yeah, nominative masculine,
Singular or
Singular.
plural? There we go.
which would be God, okay, or the God,
Most likely just God.
where's God?
Proper nouns are a little fuzzy with articles.
And then tas cosmon,
What? How
or
does
sorry,
it?
ton cosmon,
There we go, Adam.
would be genitive, neutered,
Are we sure about that case, Chief?
probably not. Oh, wait. Oh,
I know you got it. I believe in you, Adam.
I thought I had it.
We got a whole day.
Let's see, well, that's ton, Oh, genitive. Why are you looking? How is it
Remember,
genitive?
os, u, o, on.
Oh,
Nominative, genitive,
yeah.
dative. And what's it?
Okay, so then it would be masculine, accusative.
There we go. And what's our number? Singular or plural?
It would be singular.
And then what's the lexical form?
It would be the world. Or the
That's a translation.
The universe.
That's a translation. What's the lexical form of the noun?
Oh, it would be cosmos.
Okay,
So it would
great.
be the universe.
We're universe, world. Could also be inhabited world,
The
That's-
inhabited world.
but it just depends on the context. Hutos, for thus, for God loved the world. Or more, put into better English, for God so loved the world. Romans 3:20, who wants this one? Diati ex ergon namu, hu dikaio thesitai, passa sarx enopion autu. Who wants this bad boy?
Easy.
Yeah, I'm trying to think which ones are the nouns we learned.
Because if no one volunteers, the teacher will select a candidate.
I mean, I have no idea.
5 seconds remain.
I'm trying
It's
to
an
work.
Arthurus, isn't it?
Well, which one? Oh, Dennis has volunteered
The
by
air,
common
the Aragon.
Okay, ergon. Yeah, we've got one. And it is an
Because I
Arthurus.
don't see an article.
That's right. So we've got ergon. Is ergon the only second declension noun in here?
Would
Du
nom,
Bois?
nom,
No.
nom, moo?
Namu.
Namu.
Namu. Okay, Namu is
Yeah,
correct.
Namu.
Okay, so which one of you, brave volunteers wants to translate these two words? What's,
Well, I would say this, I would say the ergon would be, genitive, plural.
correct. You're correct on those two fronts.
And masculine? I don't know,
Neuter.
How would not?
You have to memorize. But in this class, today, we've already seen this. But
okay. And that's be, of works.
it works. Okay. And then we've got Namu right here. What do we got?
Would be,
So you own this one, Ashley. You identified it.
I'm gonna have to think about it for a moment.
Can't back out now.
Yeah, it's too late. I've
So
already made eye contact with you.
The lexical form would be namos
Correct.
for law. It would be, so it'd be masculine, singular,
So far, so good.
genitive.
Correct.
So
It's gonna come out in English pretty nonsensical, but
it's gonna be like of law?
correct.
Are they
Correct.
all?
Yes, because by works of the law, haha, it is actually, it's on there at first, but because of the syntax here, it's definite. It's not, you guys can't possibly know that. Therefore, by works of the law, no flesh will be justified before him. So that translates to in English. All right, who wants to take D? Zarek has boldly raised his hand.
Okay, so there's like three logos.
Yep.
There's one ta theos or theon.
Oh, there's one more, Chief.
And is that the os one?
I don't know, Zarek, is it? If I'll bust the chops even of my own wife, you're not safe. Okay, translate these puppies for me.
Okay, so logos is.
And I'll accept, you don't have to do each logos, just one is fine.
Okay, so it's masculine, nominative, singular.
Yep.
The time, the on,
And what does ha logos translate to?
the word.
Correct, all right, now what about the on and the
Tom,
os?
the on. Tom, the on is also masculine. It's accusative.
Yep.
And it's singular. It translates to the word, right?
Theos?
Sorry. The God, the
Okay.
Lord.
The God will do. God is technically more accurate, but what about just theos by itself? Ooh, this one's dirty. I shouldn't have done this to you. But
I mean, it doesn't have an article. Is it singular?
it is singular.
Singular.
And what's the case gender?
Nom or accusative?
Can't be accusative. Because you already know, right?
Oh, it's the on. Sorry. So nominative.
It's nominative. Nominative singular, lacks a definite article, it's masculine. What does it translate to? Dun dun dun.
God?
This is not actually all that unusual. Just because something lacks a definite article, as you saw with that Romans example, doesn't mean it's indefinite. This is one of the classic examples of
Is that almost, is theos almost just like saying his name?
Just about. It kind of functions as a proper noun, but that's actually not what's going on here,
Okay.
because you'll have Jesus occur with the definite article all the time, the
Okay.
Jesus. But when it doesn't have the article, it doesn't mean a Jesus. Ashley, you have a
So
question?
I have kind of a similar question. It's not like super related to the grammar of it, but with theos, is that a term like exclusively for God, or is there like a plural form of it for like referring to like the pagan gods or whatever?
Yeah,
Or Greek-
actually.
Greek gods.
Yeah.
for
So,
instance.
theoi does occur in various
Okay.
places, meaning gods. There's also an adjective for divine, theos, or theos, if you want to be a real Poindexter about it.
Wait, what was that? Can you write that one again?
There's your word for divine.
Sound it out?
Just, it would be theos.
There's an eon in it.
Yeah, well, you have this diphthong here.
Oh, it makes a diphthong. That's
Yeah,
confusing
diphthong
because it sounds
right
like.
here. So instead of, because this, remember, this is theos, not theos, right? That's theos. You have that short epsilon here.
Those
Where's your
diphthongs are gonna be.
Epsilon iota is equivalent to an eta
Okay.
in terms of sound. Okay. Now, this one is an interesting one, and it's worth commenting on this. There are reasons why you might expect something that's proper, not necessarily to have, the definite article here. But in this case, it has nothing to do with that. It's actually because of some stuff you don't know yet. But basically, you have a sentence here, right? This is the word was. I'll just supply that for you. The word was God. When you have a predicate like this that comes before a to be verb and it doesn't have the article, that means it's saying something essential about the subject. And what this means basically is that this is the strongest way in the Greek language John could have said that the word is God. He's basically saying, in essence, like instead of saying the word's divine, which he could have done, he says almost as an adjectival, attributive description of logos, he calls it God. In essence, it's God. It's when I translated this, when I preached this, I went with the Net Bible's translation, which actually translates it as the word was fully God. There's not a stronger way to say it, which is ironic because Mormons and Jehovah's Witnesses will say it lacks a definite article, so it's saying the word was a God, right? Doesn't the lack of the article mean that it's indefinite? Not in this case. In many cases, it doesn't mean that. And when you have this kind of construction, not just with God, but with any kind of nominative like this, you often don't have an article there, and you often have an essential predicate like that. So it's a bit more advanced than what you guys know, but I felt it was just important to bring that up because you've learned just enough Greek to know about indefinite and definite. And like, what if you had Mormon missionaries come to your door who did a little reading and they hit you with this and you're like, oh crap, I don't know, right? So I just wanted to kind of prepare you guys for that. Let's see.
A 19-year-old would read Greek to you?
They learn these things from somebody who told somebody who told somebody who told
okay.
somebody who told somebody.
Yeah.
And the J-Wits come pre-programmed with this knowledge. Like they all know this. So,
It's been a minute since I've done that.
and I wouldn't be surprised even if people from Whimscott caught wind of this sort of thing because they know about the difference between Elohim and Elo. Actually, they don't really know.
Yes.
They know the two terms exist, but they have no freaking clue what they mean.
No.
If some Whimscott person listens to this, learn Hebrew, get out of the cult. All right, let's do these last two examples and then we'll just read some Greek out loud together real quick. Although we are running short on time. Maybe we'll skip these last two. All in favor of skipping these last two examples?
Aye.
Please indicate by saying aye.
I'm really worried that if we say it, that you're gonna be like, let's do them then.
She got it figured out.
The problem is, Nola, if you remain quiet for too long, I'll start calling
I
on
know,
you.
that's why I occasionally pop up.
It's like-
I got you figured out.
It's a survival thing. Okay, is this text big enough for everyone to read, or do I need to make it bigger?
It's big enough, but can you stand right
Here?
so we can read it?
Absolutely, yeah. Dan, is this good?
Yeah.
Dennis?
Yeah.
Okay. People kind of at different angles in the room. Zarek, you have a question.
Yeah, when are we actually getting into like capital letters and all that?
Capitals, you don't need to worry about.
Okay.
As you can see, like you have the beginning of this quotation, right, as a capital. That's just something you'll pick up inductively over time, so you don't have to worry too much about capital letters. The Greek New Testament, like if you were to pop it open and start reading it, it's all written in lowercase. So, all right. I will start reading, and I was advised that I need to do this more slowly. So, if I am going too fast, if you are falling behind, please do not let your teacher run you over.
So I was confused when we did this last time. Are we supposed to like read with you or after you?
Read with or after, however, it just kind of
Okay.
probably I will read it, and then just given how human brains work, you will probably read it very shortly after me. So, okay. Palumeros,
Palumeros.
kai, palutropos, Palai, ha, theos, lalesas, tois, patrasin.
Can you say
Wait,
that
wait,
again?
wait.
Patricin.
Pardon, I heard a question.
Can you say that again?
Which one?
Tois
Tois, patrasin.
patricine?
Patricin.
That is a third declension noun.
Oh,
Okay.
You do not need to worry about that right now.
great.
And tois,
Tois.
prophetais. There, right there is a hybrid noun. You'll notice how it has a feminine dative ending and it has a nominative article. And oh yeah, it's just that way.
Great.
Ep, escatu, tone, heimero, two-tone, elalesen, heimin, and huio. And huio. Han ethiken, kleronomon, ponton. Di hu, kai, epoiesen, tous ionas. Has on apolgasma, tes doxes, kai, character, tes hupostaseos, autu. Theron, te tapanta, to remati, tes dunameos, autu.
Dunameos.
Dunameos. Yep, tes dunameos, autu. There's another third declension noun, dunameos. Katharismon, katharismon, ton hamartion, poie samenas. Ekathisen, and dexia, tes megalosunes, and hupselois, tasuto, kraton, genomenos, ton angelon, ton angelon, haso, dia phoroteron, dia phoroteron, par autus, kekleronomake, anima, kekleronomake, anima. Oh yeah, baby. These are not the longest Greek words either.
Gee, I'm excited.
Like German does and just smash a whole bunch of words together?
Nowhere near as bad as German.
Okay.
I'm
I mean, that's what,
like
that sounds like something you'd come across in German where just 3 or 4 words are all mushed together.
Nope, it's actually it's actually a perfect active indicative verb.
Okay.
And so it's not a combination of multiple things. Now, the Greek has a couple of words, you know.
Okay,
words
it's,
sometimes,
no, that's beyond,
but that would be a very lengthy explanation
Okay.
that no one cares about.
thank you.
All right, let's try to read a little more quickly this time, all right? All right, we're gonna go from 5 miles an hour to 7. And by 7, I mean 15. Palumeros, kai, palutropos, palai, hatheas, lalesas, tois patras, en tois prophetais, ep ascatu, ton heimero, two tone. All right, pause. How are we doing?
It's a little fast.
A little too fast? A little too fast? Okay, I'll slow down. Tone, heimero, two tone, elalesen, heimin, and huio, han, ethikin, kleronomon, ponton, di hu, kai, epoiesin, tous, ionas. How's our speed? Are we losing anybody? If I'm losing you, please say something. I want to slow down for you if I'm losing you. Okay. All right, tous ionas. Has on apalgasma, tes doxes, kai, character. This one I'm sure Plumber heard. He'd be like, JP, you're doing it wrong. Tes hupostaseos, autu. Theron, te tapanta, to rematin, tes dunameos autu, katharismon, ton hamartion, hoi samenos, ekathesin, endexia, tes megalosunes, and upselos.
Who's the last one again, please?
Upselos? Upselos. You've got that side there, which kind of is awkward. Upselos.
Hey, John Paul,
Yes, darling.
you are a megalocerum.
Megalosunes? Thank you,
Yeah.
hon. That means I'm great.
Okay.
That backfired.
Megalosune is greatness.
Hmm.
Or majesty, you could say. So I'm majestic. Why do I sound majestic? You guys like that?
So nice.
Oh, that's so nice of her. Tasuto, kraton, genomenon, ton angelon, paso, diaphoroteron, par autus, keklerana macon anima. All right, I've noticed the reading speed's a lot better than it was a few weeks ago. You guys are moving along.
Yeah, but for me, I still need to break each one of those words down into separate syllables, figure out
fine.
what each syllable is, and then I can say,
Me too.
maybe say the word. I can't do it all at once.
This
Yeah.
is how you learned English.
There's a
isn't it?
train wreck in my brain. actually.
So on the third line,
On the third here.
yeah, fourth word, the little ooh,
Who?
who,
Who.
is that a breathing mark
It is.
with an accent on top of
With a
it?
circumflex on top of it.
Okay.
Yes.
So we're not seeing that in the book.
No, this is just something I pulled from the New
No,
Testament.
I'm just saying that in the book, if we get a breathing mark, we're not always getting an accent.
That's true. Now, in this case, it just happens to be an accident syllable.
Okay.
There are,
There are going to be times, future situations where you will have accented first syllables with breathing marks. It just depends on the word.
I've seen it a couple of times. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
But good eye. Good
Because
eye.
I was trying to figure out what that symbol was.
No, it's a circumflex. And there's like, this is the typical like circumflex that you will see like in the Greek New Testament. But there are, sometimes people will draw a circumflex, you know, like, I'll show you. So maybe they would be like, and they would just draw their circumflex like that.
Yes, okay,
Okay.
on the fourth line where it says three, second to last word.
So verse 3.
Upastaseos. So
Upastaseos, yep.
yeah, upastaseos.
Yep.
Okay.
What was your questions there? Just pronunciation?
Just pronunciation.
Okay, yeah, hupastaseos. Yep, or hupastaseos if you want to be used. But it just, you know, it's hard to pronounce it that way. And probably in ancient Greek, it was something more along the lines of, you know, hypostaseos.
Upastaseos.
That's probably closer to what it was really like.
It's like you have a Hispanic accent or something.
Yeah, and then instead of autu, it would have been avtu. But
Two.
we're not learning that pronunciation because it's a pain in the butt. And there are going to be interpretive implications of pronunciation, but when you're good enough to notice that sort of thing, you'll know. So,
Not right now.
yeah, not right. All right. Well, we're out of time for today. It's 9:15. We can keep going and practicing if you would like, or I can stay and answer questions. But if you need to go, we're essentially done for the day. Next week, you will be learning chapter 4. Please watch the lecture, read the textbook. You're going to be learning verbs. You'll be learning present active indicative verbs. And you will actually get your very first real translation exercises. So you will be translating parts of the New Testament next week. That is where it actually starts to become fun, in my opinion. And you'll actually start to see how the language fits together. You'll start putting all this knowledge together. But please, I will upload a homework video as I've been doing. You will see the announcements in Discord. Please avail yourselves of those. But do not be afraid to ask me questions. Ashley lives with me. She can ask me questions. Adam direct messages me all the time in Discord. I think you should be able to direct message me or add me as a friend in Discord if you would like. Or if you have my phone number or email, please feel free to contact me in whatever way. I'm happy to answer your questions during the week. I don't mind at all.
Can you talk about the mu, alpha, iota ending on nouns?
Mu, alpha, iota?
Yeah.
What would you like me to?
So it talked about, the book talked about reflexive,
Like this?
as in it has
Oh, mu,
to.
alpha, iota. You mean like in the verbal section? like?
Yes, just in general, on a noun.
On a noun, I mean, I'm not sure what exactly.
I'm sorry, on a verb, my
Okay.
apologies.
So I was like, I'm not, you
Yes.
have learned something I don't know.
No, I'm making it up as I go.
So, I'm pretty sure in this chapter, you're just going to learn, you know, your typical present active indicative, like Lego. But like, if Lego my, this form here is what's called a middle passive.
Middle.
Well, because
So it could be either one.
that's what the textbook in the vocabulary section for chapter 3.
Oh, it does have some
It
of
has
those.
both. It has the ones that end in the omega. And
Can I
then
see a textbook on?
Yeah, and then it has a little thingy about middle verbs.
Let me see.
That we'll learn that next week or something.
Let me see what it says in this chapter. Make sure I'm not lying to you. That would probably be beneficial.
No, it's the chapter 3
Yeah.
vocab.
Right. But I'm trying to see what, because
Oh.
the vocabulary tees up the ball for the subsequent chapter, so I'm trying to see what it's hitting me
Okay.
with. Okay, blah, 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 where's the next chapter? Okay, so this actual coming chapter is going to be an overview of the verbal system. So they're gonna talk about tense, aspect, mood, voice, that sort of thing, and it's going to talk to you about a lot of these things. It doesn't look like, it looks like the only paradigm you need to memorize here, from what I can tell, is the paradigm for a me.
Great.
So it looks like you've just got the one. There's a ton of homework in this coming chapter. But it looks like you'll just be learning the to be verb, which is technically a present indicative, not active. Next week, we will get to chapter 5 and you'll learn present active indicative verbs. Thank you for, if you hadn't asked that question, I wouldn't have checked, so thank you for doing that. It's been 5 years since I worked through this textbook.
So it's
I
like
come, yeah, I come go,
Yeah, so those,
or,
you will, actually, I guess we could talk a little bit about this. So you're gonna get an overview of the Greek verbal system. And the Greek verbal system has a lot of information in it, and it works a little differently than the English one does. So you have to
Of course
deal
it
with tense, voice, mood.
can't see anything you're writing.
you're blocking the
Now I
projector.
can. Oh, I looked at your sweatshirt, I guess.
All right, tense, voice, mood, and you've got also, number, right? And it won't ask for aspect, it's gonna talk about verbal aspect later. But you get an overview of the verbal system, and there are different tenses in Greek, right? Greek cares a lot less, like English tense is really heavy on time. For
Mhm.
Greek, that's a minor emphasis. Tense is usually telling you more about the nature of an action.
So with
Than it
time,
is.
you mean like past,
Past,
future,
present,
present?
and future.
Okay.
There is an explicit future tense, there are tenses that contain past encoding, but more important to the Greek verbal system is the speaker's perspective on an action. And so you'll get this thing called verbal aspect, and verbal aspect comes in 3 flavors. And Plummer will address this more in detail, but your 3 aspects are perfective. You'll never be asked to parse the aspect, so this is just for you to know. Stative. And these describe the nature of an action. So perfective action is one that is viewed as a whole. It's a completed action. So if I say I sat down, that's a complete action, right? If I said, I am sitting down, right? I'm describing, actually sitting is kind of a terrible example. I read a book. That would be a perfective aspect. I read the book, right?
You
We're just talking
completed it.
from the perspective of me as the speaker. The book's read, it's done, right? Now imperfective would be to say, I am reading a book. I'm reading a book. Or if we were talking narrative, he was reading the book, right? Well, now we're zooming in on what I was doing at that exact moment. It's in action. And stative is basically, an action that creates a new state of affairs. So if I say I stood up, right? Well, that is, you could say it partially, there's a perfective aspect that I completed the action, but now that I've stood up, I'm standing, right? So now you have a new state that's been ushered in, and I can't think of a way to illustrate that for you guys, sorry. But basically, your imperfective, your stative, these different aspects are the primary focuses of your tenses, right? Now, time is there, but it's a minor aspect.
So would the stative be kind of like more like a to be verb? Like it is something?
Not necessarily. So stative, sometimes this information will be encoded by the tense. So like the perfect tense, ironically, the perfect tense and pluperfect tenses are actually generally stative.
Are those
So-
English grammar words?
Yeah, the verbal aspect here
No,
is,
perfect and pluperfect, I don't even know.
those are Greek tenses.
Oh,
I was gonna-
Perfect is an English thing, but not pluperfect.
Yeah,
I've never-
perfective aspect, this is kind of confusing. Perfective aspect is not related to the perfect verb in Greek.
Oh.
Obnoxious, but
So-
that's just, whereas you have something in Greek called the aorist tense, and you also have a future. Both of these tend to have perfective aspect, and then imperfective would be your present, and this is somewhat more helpful, that the imperfect, thankfully, actually does have imperfective aspect, and things of that nature. And so aspect is something Plummer will go into greater detail, but you just basically, and you'll learn about this more, I just want to introduce this idea so you're not shell-shocked by it because somebody asked. And so tense, you have a couple different tenses in Greek, which the textbook will go over. And I will save kind of my comments on that because you'll get it as you come. But voice is something that's helpful to think about. You have active, middle, and passive. And I mean, sometimes you kind of have like reflexive, but reflexives, true reflexives in Greek are extremely rare, but they do exist. Active, middle, and passive voice, right? Active voice, you know, I can't spell throw the ball, right? We know that's active because the subject is active. Here I am writing like a moron. Passive. The ball is thrown, right? We can see the subject is being acted on by the verb. And then middle is hard to express in English, a true middle. So we'll settle for a reflexive for now, but we'll talk more about the middle in greater detail. The ball, the rose itself. Your house is haunted. So, and when you, so the question about like, you know, Lego, wow, I can't spell it all. I speak, right? That's present, it's active,
Okay.
indicative. I spreek, wow, German coming out there. I spreche. And then you have Lego my, and that might be I am spoken, which doesn't
say
make
that
any
again?
sense. Like I am spoken would be a way you could say it, because Lego my could be passive, it could also be middle. And so, again, you're just going to have an overview in this chapter.
Okay.
You will learn about all of these tenses. We'll get a whole chapter each.
Well,
So don't stress. This is just to familiarize you to know what to expect.
Stress will come later.
But that's, I think that's all the overview I think you guys could probably survive after a morning like this.
Yeah.
So we are done. You are free to leave. I mean, you can technically leave at any time. I won't stop it.
well, the heat just turned on, so
Yeah, I know it's
I
nice and
gotta
warm now.
talk to Wayne about that one.
Is it already on, must already be on,
Please remember to bring me your quizzes.
Like, I pressed the button maybe an hour ago.
Oh.
Biggest brain fart. I forgot literally everything I said.
Oh, man. Sorry to hear that, Eric.
It's okay.
Oh, that heat is on.
No,
Yeah, I feel
that would've been nice.
Where's the,
Well, I was.
oh, there it is.
I'm bringing a space for
I think so. Actually, I'm gonna turn off recording.
So this is what I get for going too fast, I just.